Today I'll be talking about a simple solution to the environmental sustainability. Let's start now. As you know, the 3 R's is very important to environmental sustainability. So reduce, reuse, and recycle. However, I want to elaborate on the reuse. In fact, I would call it the 4R instead of just the 3R. The 4R because the reuse can be elaborated into repurpose, sometimes known as upcycling. That is a very important concept because not only we have to reduce, let's say we do use some of the material, we can actually repurpose it to something else. And I'm going to show you today what I did. In fact, several of my videos in the past few years were dedicated for that. So if you do care about your environment, you have to think about repurposing or upcycling some of the material that you have instead of just recycling. As you know recently about the recycling of our material, which was sent to Philippines and it was sent back. That tells you a lot about our recycling program. It just doesn't work properly. So now the federal government have to deal with that and make sure it works properly. But in the meantime, us as a citizen, we need to be more responsible in what we do. Don't just throw away the garbage and forget about it. In fact, what I suggest you do is that you repurpose or upcycle some of the material that you're going to be throwing away before you throw it away anyway. So what can you do? Well, let me give you some examples. So recently we went to Chinese mall and bought this food. This is a gelatinous rice ball. We love eating this stuff, but the packaging is made of plastic. Now this is interesting. The plastic itself is not recyclable. However, look at the design of this packaging. It is like an 8 carton, which is really good and it's small. And what can you use this for? Well, you can reuse it for paint containers. That's right. Instead of buying a paint container, you can now use this after you eat. You wash it with water, clean it up, and now you can use it as a paint container. So you put paints into this, and I actually have 2. So I'm going to keep this when I'm painting or using, let's say, watercolor. I can put my paint in here. So that's one of the things that you can think about when you're using or before you throw things away. 8 carton is another one. Again, you see this, you say, so what can you use this for? Well, with the combination of lint, okay, you know, from your dryer, you can collect that. I collect them, and with this and wax, candle wax, I made it into what I called fire starter, and I experimented with this fire starter, and it's even better than the commercial grade. It will be able to burn for at least 15 minutes. I actually timed it. It's between 15 to 20 minutes, which according to my experiment, the commercial grade can only last for 13 to 15 minutes, where this thing is several minutes more. So I was able to even do a better job than the current commercial fire starter. You can also make materials that's going to be thrown away into something like this stuff here. I did this project about 5 years ago. This is known as a butane bazooka ping pong ball. So I made a toy out of this. So we have this soap bottle, plastic soap bottle. I have this plumbing pipe and some of the other material, and a tape and even a pump. And then I have also the barbecue lighter. Combined together, I made a toy that it's quite fun. It's the bazooka that shoot out tennis ball using propane gas. Pretty cool, right? All from recycled material. Repurpose it. Here's another project that I did. You take a bucket, a plastic bucket, you think you're going to throw it away, you can make into a science project. For example, you put water in here, you can just demonstrate a centripetal force. So you just put a piece of string tied to it, and then you just put the water in there and you swing it and just show students centripetal force. Or you can use it to collect water sample from the river, recycle material, and repurpose it for something else. Lastly, you might have seen this in the thrift store. People are just throwing this left and right. This is a mouse, and this is actually a older mouse. This is the PS2 mouse with a ball inside. People just disregard this, throw it away. If you put it in the recycle, guess what? They're just gonna throw it away. I don't know where it goes. I'm pretty sure that they're not even gonna take some of these electronic parts, so it's gonna go into our landfills. So I was able to, for example, convert this mouse that's a lot of people throw away, this ancient PS2 mouse, into something like a broken mouse. But I realized that the mouse with the ball inside has an X and Y axes, and this is great for a certain type of software. For example, for DaVinci Resolve, I was able, the color wheel, some of you might know about DaVinci Resolve video editor. I was able to use this mouse to precisely control the color wheels. So you have to be creative about thinking about these type of technology, that before you throw into the garbage, that you can actually utilize it. Now, believe it or not, this technology is like at least 15 years old, but if you repurpose it, reuse it to something more useful, I was able to save hundreds of dollars just thinking about that. And it's quite useful. In fact, it's more useful than some of my other mouse that's currently on the market. So my point is, when you're going to think about the environmental issue, before you do that, you need to do your part. So don't just tell the government, and the government has a responsibility, obviously, and because they're using your tax dollar money to do all these programs. But I'm surprised that they're going to tax us more using carbon tax. I think it would be better if they try to innovate and promote these type of repurpose and reuse or upcycling material. There should be a program that educate people on how to do this, and instead of recycling or basically just throw things away and expect it to just vanish in thin air. So that's my take on environmental sustainability solution. So I hope that this is useful. Hopefully you're able to take, before you throw things away, you're able to reuse, repurpose, or upcycling some of the material. Thanks for watching EducateTube.com.